Remember, the key to success is working hard. For our country, we must have regard. Forget all your differences, let we start to build. And onward to progress we surely will. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come let us work hand in hand, because this is our land.
Come, let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique belong to all of us, and we have a duty to enhance it, to make it better, to improve it. I want to welcome you to the Hub. Again, we have a unique opportunity to talk using social media and the radio to connect. My name is Kem Jones, and I want to start off by encouraging those on Facebook and YouTube to please share the live. Sharing is caring. Well, today I had the opportunity to listen this press conference hosted by the New National Party. And boy, I was taken aback. Taken aback because the press conference started off with everything Keith Mitchell. Remember, Keith Mitchell is not the leader of the NNP, although we know he is controlling the puppet leader of the NNP. So this woman, who is the NNP TV, and Keith Mitchell is the NNP remote control, and Gregory Bowen is the NNP TV manual, she had this press conference. And it was not about Emlin P. It was all about Keith Mitchell and Keith Mitchell and Keith Mitchell. So many people message me saying, but Keith Mitchell is still the leader of the NNP. Keith Mitchell seems as though he's still leading the NNP and running the show. Because she's the leader of the NNP, but when it comes to the leader of the opposition, Keith Mitchell is the leader of the opposition. How that making sense? It just doesn't make sense, right? So people are seeing that more and more and more and more, that Keith Mitchell is still in charge of the NNP. She is just a puppet on a string. And most of Grenada doesn't want to associate with the past. They fed up of Keith Mitchell and what he did to this country. So that's a negative already. But boy, when I heard Emlin P, because she was asked about Peter David's resignation and, how it would affect the NNP. The woman turned around and say, and I quoted her, or she used words to the effect, I believe from my own personal assessment. So she did her personal assessment. And the feedback I received thus far, that's Emlin P speaking. Emlin P believed that the NDC will be more impacted negatively by this than the New National Party in relation to Peter David resigning from the NNP. I mean, if Dommy James was still in town, he would tell this woman she's worse than him and she doesn't have political sense. She's not wise. She's not smart. Peter David was a member of the NNP. Peter David ran in the town of St. George on a NNP ticket. Peter David resigned from the NNP party, of which he was a member. So one time, same time, you lost a member. You lost a vote. That's the first. Secondly, Peter David made up or caused NNP at the time to have 5 seats in the parliament. NDC won the election and had 9 seats. Delma Thomas resigned from the NNP and caused NDC to have 10 seats. Peter David, now resigning from the NNP, would leave the NNP with 4 seats. So that's another negative, a negative impact again. So one, Peter David as a voter, because he was a member of the NNP and MP for Tongue of St. George. He's still MP, but now he's independent. But he voted for NNP, supported NNP. You lost that vote. Then, as an MP, a member of parliament, NNP had Peter on their side. So they had 5. Now they were left with 4. They were left with 4. 1 gone again. So that's a negative impact again on the NNP. Then, if Emlin P had political wisdom, she would know that Peter David, when he left NDC, he did not run in 2013. Instead, he supported Nicholas Steele, and Nicholas Steele won that seat. Nicholas Steele got, in 2013, 1,377 votes in the Tongue of St. George, and Franca Bonadin got 896 votes. Then Peter David came back in 2018 and he ran on an NNP ticket. And Peter David got 1,615 votes. And any political scientist or anybody who is politically savvy will tell you that Peter David ride on the NNP wave during that particular period. And as a result, he got the votes that Nicholas Steele could have gotten if he had ran that race in the Tongue of St. George. But Nicholas went in the south of St. George. Peter David, who supported Nicholas Steele in 2013, right, had Nicholas Steele, he went to south. Peter David came back in Tongue on an NNP ticket, but he was friends with Nicholas Steele. He supported Nicholas Steele in 2013 and the NNP. So the bulk of votes from Nicholas Steele went over to Peter David on an NNP ticket, and Peter David brought some personal votes with him in the Tongue of St. George. So the amount Nicholas Steele got, 1,377 votes, increased under Peter David in 2018 to 1,615 votes. And Claudette Joseph got 789 votes. So almost 100 less than Franca Bonadin. All right? But here it is. In 2022, Peter David ran under NNP ticket again. Under NNP ticket. And Peter David got 1,329 votes, almost equal to what Nicholas Steele got in 2013, around the same margin, 1,300 and something. And Claudette Joseph, who gained significantly, got 1,118 votes. So she continues to gain grounds and get more votes in the back-to-back elections, 2018 and from 2018 to 2022, because she was beaten by almost 820-something votes in 2018. And in 2022, she lost by 211 votes. All right, by the same Peter David. But I am saying all of this to say Peter David has been riding on the NNP wave, not the NDC wave. The NDC has nothing to do with NNP and Peter David and all the nonsense that's taking place within NNP, you know. In fact, there are more NDC people who hate Peter David than any political party in the country. Peter David will never, ever be back in NDC. It's impossible. It's totally impossible. No one within NDC at this point in time could welcome Peter David in NDC for the NDC supporters to be happy with that. It's impossible. Totally impossible. And NDC supporters in the town of St. George or anywhere in Grenada will not vote for Peter David again. It will never happen. In fact, you could see from 2013 when he didn't run, because he didn't run in 2013, right? Nicholas Steele ran in 2013. Nicholas Steele got 1,377 votes. Peter David in 2018, got just about 300, well, under 300, 200 and something votes more, right? Let me do the math. So Peter David, personal votes, because the NNP supporters voted for Peter David. The Nicholas Steele supporters voted for Peter David. So 1,377 minus of 1,615. So Peter David, right, gained or got 238 votes more than Nicholas Steele. So Nicholas Steele voters under NNP voted for Peter David in 2018. In 2018, right? But he only got 238 votes more than Nicholas Steele got in 2013. And then he was demoted by the NNP, and Keith started treating him like a bad boy, right? As a bastard son. And eventually, the NNP supporters started becoming a bit bitter with him, but he remained loyal to NNP. So the numbers dropped back to the NNP original number of 2013 because you had a different dynamic or different dynamics happening in 2022. We had the Most Honorable Deacon Mitchell. He came on the scene with a new group of young men and women, and NNP couldn't stand up to that. So the party became very unpopular, right? But I am saying the people who voted for Peter David in 2018 and 2022 are NNP supporters. NNP supporters. And some of them remain loyal to him, even if he was demoted by Keith Mitchell during the period 2018 to 2022. So NNP has more to lose with Peter David not being on their side. In other words, the 1,000 how much votes, right? NNP may get some of it, but Peter David, if he decides to go a different direction, he will go with some votes. And it's certain that he will go with the NNP votes. NDC people are studying about Peter David. Peter David abandoned the NDC for 2 elections back to back. In fact, 3. For 3 elections, Peter David was never missed. He was never important. Who the hell is Peter David in the scheme of things in politics when it comes to NDC? NDC lost in 2013 all 15 seats. And NDC didn't miss Peter David. No. NDC went back in 2018 and lost 15 seats. Peter David was never with NDC. NDC didn't miss that red boy from Tongue. No. And in 2022, NDC won the election without Peter David. Who the hell is Peter David to the NDC? Peter is considered as a political dog to the NDC. A like a potong politically to the NDC is a no good. To the NDC is not important. But to the NNP, he's important. To the NNP is important because he ran on an NNP ticket. He supported NNP in 2013. He ran in 2018 and he ran in 2022. And the people who voted for him overwhelmingly had NNP t-shirts on, right? NNP supporters voted for him. Emlin P is a political jack donkey. Emlin P is a genius politically. That's the female of the donkey. She's a lunatic, in my belief, politically. So to go publicly and say that NDC would be impacted negatively or more in a negative way than any other party or NNP, using words to that effect, the girl or the woman, she's a political idiot. She's a political genius. That's exactly what she is. She's a fool. Because one, Peter David ran on an NNP ticket. On an NNP ticket. He's no longer a part of you. He decides he's stepping away and he's going independent. This thing is common sense. You don't need to be a genius politically to understand that. And Emlin P song dunce today when they ask about the plans, and because you see you could yap. But when you're asked a question like this, what are your plans for Grenada? What you intend to do? Okay, you say you're the leader, although we know you're the NNP TV. Keith Mitchell is the NNP remote, and Gregory Bowen is the manual for that same TV. You're a puppet leader. We know that. But what are your plans? What are your programs? What you intend to do? Huh? What you intend to do differently to better Grenada and the people of Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique? You come there talking a lot about Keith Mitchell and was this and Keith Mitchell that, and you're a political fool. But I am saying, folks, you don't need to be too bright to understand that Peter was on your side. Now you have four of you all in the lower house of parliament. Just four of all, right? Election and Collier ball, you start to lose seats. The NNP. You lose Delma Thomas, now you lose Peter David. And I am saying, Peter David will never be a part of NDC again. Never. It would not happen. Because if Peter David is associated with NDC, it will be the demise of. That is why NDC is staying far, far away from that. That brand, they don't want to be associated with that. You think NDC go close up that? That's stale goods, that beat up. You know what they call beat up in real life? He been through hell and back. Politically. He passed through everything. All old thing beat it up. He ain't good. Do you understand what that means? Huh? Yeah. He ain't good. He beat up. He spoiled. Politically. Who wants to be associated with Peter? Peter is old school. Peter is age, antique. He's derelict. Peter is like Keith Mitchell, Peter is like a Keith, an old piece of thing packed up by the side of the road that solid waste has to just come and get rid of. Peter is derelict. Peter is arcade, old. Politically. He cannot associate, he cannot relate, not just associate, relate to this generation and even the next one. He just can't. So who wants to be a part of, who wants to associate with Peter and Keith and NNP and them. Right now, NDC riding high. Look at the most honorable Deacon Mitchell now. Look at this young man, intelligent. He's a great orator. He loves people. He loves children, right? He can easily enter any environment and just transform it with positive vibes and energy. Look at how he's representing Grenada, raising our noses. We happy, we glad. Things are happening for the country. Who the hell want Peter wrong? Huh? What's wrong with all you? And Peter has become so irrelevant in the politics. Just this little drama caused him to get some kind of 15 seconds of rah-rah. Nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. Peter cannot even organize a party and run and win anything. In fact, if he organize a third party, you know what's going to happen with him? He's not going to even win tongue seat. He's going to lose tongue seat. He's going to lose the tongue. It's simple. He doesn't have enough votes on his own merit to win the tongue seat. It's just not going to happen. And Grenadians have sense. They want to vote for some party who could win. What? Watch me. Emlin P today sung dumb, and she lacked basic knowledge of current affairs, and she lacked vision. And where there is no vision, the whole NNP will perish. It was clear today that she cannot be on a stage with the most honorable Deacon Mitchell. She doesn't have what it takes to qualify her to be on a stage with the most honorable Deacon Mitchell. She's lacking a lot. And poor Kitaka, what wrong with you, boy? And you, Bola is still around. You know, you watch today an old party, NNP, an old party with a bunch of rejects. I thought Bola gone and forget that thing. Bola still there wrong, you know. It's just stupid and straight. But anybody would conclude this over. Wait, Peter never ran on an NDC ticket in the last 3 elections. No. From 2013 to 2018 and from 2018 to 2022, Peter David ran on an NNP ticket. And there are NNP supporters in the town of St. George and some other places who got to like the guy and who voted for the guy over and over and over again. Now that he's no longer with the NNP, then the question that everyone should ask, where would they go now? Would the NNP supporters who became or who fell in love with Peter, who like him, would they go back to NNP the way they treated Peter? And if Peter come up with some party, would they not go in the direction of Peter David, who they get to love and who they will support? Or would they go back to the NNP? Or what's the option? Isn't it more possible that these people being angry with NNP and the way they treated him in recent times would want to inflict some hurt on NNP and may just turn around and vote for NDC? So, in other words, Emlin P all wrong. Emlin P doesn't make sense. All wrong. But I am saying to you out there, Peter David is not as popular as you think he is. And he doesn't have that national appeal as you think he possesses. Because the numbers does not, or the numbers don't add up. The numbers do not indicate that Peter David has some kind of serious national influence. Because if he was so popular, why didn't he run? Why didn't he run independently or ran independently in 2013? He was afraid that he would lose badly. And there was a greater probability that he would lose badly than win in 2013. With the swing and the wave at the time, especially with what transpired during the NDC period of Tillman Thomas, when the 10 rogues decided to give trouble. 10 of them gang up on Tillman Thomas. So there's a great probability that he would have lost that election badly. So it's clear. But if you look at his numbers from 2008 to now, you would realize that he has lost tremendous support. Tremendous support from the people of his constituency. You could imagine, in 2018, Peter David beat Claudette Joseph by 820-something votes. That's a lot of votes. But in 2022, Peter David almost lost. He only beat Claudette Joseph, the same opponent, by 211 votes. And if Claudette had an extra week or two, Peter David would have been history. He was fighting for his life. It's not like, the victory of the most honorable Deacon Mitchell against Oliver Joseph, or the victory of the honorable Andy Williams against Nolan Cox, or the victory of Ron Redhead and the honorable Ron Redhead and Nimrod Olive. No. Right? So it's clear. This guy never won by any significant margin. He was popular then, not now. Not now. In fact, the minute time the guy associated with NNP, he saw his numbers going down. From the people who supported him. Because remember, from 2013, because he didn't run in 2013, he got more votes than Nicola Still in 2018. But in 2022, he lost a significant amount of votes and came back down to the original figure of Nicola Still, the NNP figure. So his NDC supporters or people who are NDC and voted for him in 2018, maybe a sympathy vote or they just like him, many of them did not go back in 2022 and voted for him. Yes, they may have given him that vote in 2018, but he lost that vote in 2022. Because look at the numbers. The numbers don't lie. Peter David he received in 2018 1,615 votes. Claudette Joseph received 789. And if you do the math, because we like to do the math on the program, you're talking about 1615 minus 789. So exactly 826 votes. So he won Claudette Joseph by 826 votes more than what she got. He beat her bad. In fact, he beat her by more than the votes that she actually got during that particular election of 2018 when he came back on the scene. But he got 238 votes more than Nicola Still got in 2013. 1,377. That is what Nicola Still got. right? So he got some personal votes. So the NNP people came out and they voted for him overwhelmingly, but he also got some personal votes from people who like him. So that increased his numbers. So we can say fairly, he got 500-600 personal votes or 300 or 400, right? So he got some personal votes. But he ran against the same opponent in 2022. And that 826 votes that he beat her by the election before, she broke that down to 211. To 211. But he actually went back to the original NNP figure of 2013, which was 1,377. Yes, he got 1,329, but it's similar because it's in the 1300s. So you have to understand. So the people who constantly support the guy, they're NNP supporters and some personal votes that he would get. But they all voted for NNP. They all supported the NNP. So now that he's no longer with the NNP, some may go back to NNP and some may remain with him if he decides to start some party. But it will not affect NDC because NDC supporters will always go there and vote for NDC. This is simple. And NDC supporters, the majority of NDC supporters, home and abroad, do not want Peter in NDC. It will not happen. It will not. And when Kem Jones tell you so, he tell you so. It will not happen. In fact, no one right now could persuade the base and the majority of NDC supporters that Peter should be welcome back in NDC. None. None, not nobody, none. As popular as some of them might be, none of them could do so. Because you're talking about thousands and thousands of supporters who would just call it a day. Even if they may love the others, one or two of the others. And I'm telling you because I'm on the ground. So there is no way Peter David going to be aligned back with NDC. No. He already explained that his ideology, his philosophy, his belief is this. It's what he was aligned with NNP and those people there. Not with NDC. There is no room in NDC for Peter David. No. No way. He gone. He's a done. He done. He fini. Fini gasa. He done politically. He done. Right? So, look. NNP will be more impacted and affected by Peter David leaving them. And they have to deal with that. They have to deal with that. But we don't want Peter. Your mother what? Peter David. Who's studying that? His days are over politically. And when I tell you that in NDC, the people, the supporters of NDC don't want Peter around, I know what I'm talking about. I communicate with them every day. I speak to them every day, home and abroad. Home and abroad. It's what it is. So, folks, this whole talk, because the NNP is pushing this idea that NDC going to welcome this guy back and pull this guy back into NDC. What joke they're making? That will never happen. Never. Never. You hear me? There is no one right now who could get that guy in NDC. None. So he's not going to be in NDC. Right? That door closed for him long. NDC don't need him. So, look, this thing is common sense. NDC lost the election in 2013. And Peter was campaigning with the NNP. NDC lost all 15 seats. All 15. And Peter went into the NNP. He became a minister within the NNP. Right? And then in 2018 again, he actually ran now in 2018 on an NNP ticket. And the NDC lost again, but the NDC never needed him. No. We lost and we accepted. We lost. We took our blows. As a man, you think it was easy in 2013 to lose all 15 seats and to still keep fighting and to still keep educating and empowering people and doing things to bounce back? You think it was easy in 2018 also to lose all 15 again when some of those folks who was front and center with NDC went and hide? Went and hide. And your humble servant came out the next day and say, hey, we will win. We're going to win the election. But these are the things that we ought to do and that we must do. Some of them thought we were joking. In fact, some of them abandoned the ship. Abandoned the ship. In fact, and let me go further. In fact, when we brought on Youth for Change and was doing stuff, that is when the party itself started to revive and bounce back. Some people underestimate that. Yes, I was on fighting the battle, but when I moved to the next level with Youth for Change and engaging people who could make things happen, some agreed and some did not. I mean, I came under a lot of attacks from all kind of sides. NNP, some of those folks within NDC who, just couldn't see the vision and couldn't see down the road. And then we started getting traction. And, the amount of protests and demonstration I organized in this place and march and, aligning myself with certain organization and so on and taking the thing to a next level. So it was not easy, but we never needed Peter. In fact, Peter joked. The guy laughed. He thought, well, what are they doing? They're going to lose again. Not understanding that when the new kid came on the block, the most honorable Deacon Mitchell and the young professionals and the team that he brought with him, and he's a great orator, and people wanted newness. When we did a poll, we knew that Grenadians wanted newness. No one who come with all the baggage and all the load and all the RMC this and RMC that, and they were there in this and the revolution and all kind of stupidness all along the road down there. People never wanted that. They wanted to get away from that. And the people who came forward, because there were some old guards within NDC who still wanted to run, And I said, even if I have to shake you, I'll drag you to a point and make you learn and understand that the people don't want you. Get out. When NDC, when you go get some work, you go travel, you go do all kind of things, you go enjoy yourself. Some of them, the ambassador day, the minister day, all over the place. You understand the point? I said, people don't want you there. You run once, twice, you lose. Get out. It was not easy. You think it was easy? But we never needed Peter for anything. No. We never needed him. Right? And we won overwhelmingly in 2022. You think it is easy to come from 0 to 9 and win an election with 15 seats available? Some people underestimate what really took place in that last election, The NNP never ever thought that they were going to lose or it was possible for them to lose. You coming from 0, from 0 to victory. And there are still some people within NDC who they never thought that they were going to win. And that's the fact. I remember in a meeting, I had to say, I said, hey, we're not running this race to come second, you know. I said, because if we ain't win this election, I can't go in tongue and I can't face the people. I have more to lose than you all, even if I didn't front up and say, well, I want this work on that work on front. No, I remain Kem Jones. But I remain with the people. I remain with the masses. I communicate with thousands of people on a daily basis. In fact, and I'm using in fact here tonight is real facts. You know. My name is a household name in Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique. You know. Don't even talk about it in the diaspora. But I ain't make no fuss. I ain't push up. I ain't show off. I ain't braggish. I ain't, you know, simple guy, simple flex. Simple flex. Right? But I am saying it was not no easy feat, no easy walk in the park with this last victory. You're mad. You're joking. It was never no easy feat. The Grenadians fell in love with the most honorable Deacon Mitchell. They listened to his message. They were attracted to his message. They believed in him. They trust him. And up to today, he's the most popular individual, not just in Grenada. I may go even further to say the Caribbean. The guy's liked. He's appreciated. They trust him. They believe in him. And we believe in him and we trust him. He's intelligent. He's a good orator. He's a good speaker. He's mild. He's meek. He's humble. You know, the guy is like us. He wants good for you. He wants betterment for you. This is not the NDC of the old, you know. They're spending the money on us, on the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. You don't realize that? You don't realize that? They're doing things every time you turn. It's just things they're doing. So it's different. It's a different time, different everything. But it was not an easy feat. That victory, that's why when you see them on programs and they start to downplay the victory and the role Deacon Mitchell and his team played at the time to cause that victory, I just get vexed. Because I know if it was not Deacon Mitchell, it would not have been possible. And if it was not him and the team that he brought on board, it would not have been possible. And that's a fact. And they worked hard to win. They invested their time, money, resources, and everything else, their reputation. You think politics easy? Politics is a damn nasty, nasty thing, you know. That is why we're calling for sanity in the politics. They tried to sue me how many times? They did videos, they did all kind of things about Kem Jones, trying to make people believe all kind of things about me. But I'm still standing. There were people afraid to talk to me. Right now, they're trying to hug me, you know. They're trying to embrace me and they're calling me every day, Kem Jones this, Kem Jones that. Yeah. But they were afraid then. Afraid. They're scared of victimization. What Keith and NNP and them go do to them. Scared. They want to be seen with me. Right now, they want to jam me up. Right? Yeah, some of them women and them, they used to duck. They're afraid. Right now, in the daylight, they want to whine and joke. Well, you know me, I like to whine and joke too anyways. I like the vibes. And so what? And you know, yes, some of them NNP women and them, so they're easy to dance and whine on. But anyways, it's a vibes. I like a humor. It's good. I like a satire. It's not bad. Because they won't ask you all kind of things. They will just come and whine, you know. But them NDC girls and them say, hey, where you walking? How much house you have? How much vehicle you have? Where you this? You know, the intellectual. So anyways, I am saying all of this to say it was not easy. That victory was a hard victory, a well-fought victory. And people grew over time to love, right? To love them more, to love the team more, to love the Prime Minister more, and the team. It's what it is. So we don't need Peter. We never needed him then. We don't need him now. You talking about 2013 to now is how many years? You tell me now. How many years? We're in 2025. Huh? That's almost 12 years. Almost 12 years. Come on. Do you use flash drive still? Do you use what right now everything is in the cloud? Right? iPhone from that time to now, you what iPhone 16? People know you longer use paper to read and write and all this thing. They use tablet and phone and so on. People no longer sign things with pen, They're moving away from that. Right? It's soft copy, its signature is online, and they just move it, and things have moved swiftly away from all of this. So you don't want 12 years gone, Peter is old in the politics. Yeah. We moved from BlackBerry, from Blue Soap to BlackBerry, from Razak to Blue Soap. You had Blue Soap, you had BlackBerry. Right now is all kind of smartphone, Samsung, iPhone, this, that, AirPod app, all kind of stuff. If somebody has to come by me, I just send them the location on the phone. WhatsApp, you send the location, live location on the GPS device, Waze, whatever they have, Google or whatever, telling them, take up this right, take up this left, and you have arrived at your destination and so on. This is different. Peter, you talking about a generation, the population, you have 60-something% of the people here, they're under 45, Peter cannot relate to these people. No. He can't mesh in. He's old school. He's like Keith and them. And he has a lot of political baggage with him. He has been involved in all kind of thing, right? You have smartwatch now too. Smartwatch. The stove no longer uses matches. You just thing and you click, touch, and stove, light. Smart, everything smart. Microwave you and your thing on. Alexa, hi Siri. Hello Siri.
Hi Kem, how can I help?
Yeah, so Siri wants to help me. Go to YouTube. Hi Siri, go to YouTube.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
So Siri's telling me to unlock my iPhone first. When I unlock my iPhone, then Siri would go to YouTube. 2024. Come on. You understand the point? Peter is old. Down there, you are 13 years. We don't need Peter anymore. We don't. So I'm saying all of this to say to you that some people believe that this guy is still relevant. He's not. He's only Hamlet, Mac, and all them old political zombie and them that believe that he's relevant. He's not. You go around and you ask people, do you know Peter? What has Peter done for the tongue of St. George? What has Peter done for the tongue of St. George? Look at the sidewalks in tongue. Huh? What has the guy in? Watch. The guy not even bothering to fix the sidewalks in tongue. Do you know the names of the streets in tongue? In some areas, you don't even have a bin to place garbage. Come on. It's not even lit in some areas in tongue, and this guy has been there for how many years? Huh? How many? What, 2 decades? How many? 15 years? In fact, it might be about 20 years. Because he entered the politics and he won in 2003, I believe. In 2003. And from 2003 to 2013, this guy was in power. Meaning he was in opposition in 2003. I stand to be corrected, but I think so. I'm a student of history. I think he was there from 2003 to 2008. And from 2008 to 2013. Right? And then he came back from 2018 to 2022. So, look, this guy been around for a while. He been around for a while. 10 years, 15 years, how many terms? So 18, 4, 15. The guy 15, 16, 17 years. The guy been around. He won twice with NNP. He won twice with NDC. Right? So I'm asking, what has he done in the tongue of St. George? All those people opening their big mouth about his relevance and his popularity. What has Peter David done for the people of the tongue of St. George? For the people of River Road, I want to know what Peter David done for you. For the people of Dabo, what has Peter David done for you? For the people of San Souci, for the people of the Carenage. Look, Carenage, just watch it now. What has Peter David done for you? The people of Tantine, Archibald Avenue and those places. Huh? What has he done for you? Locust Street, Grenville Street, Bruce Street, Melville Street, Go Street, Young Street, Church Street. What has he done for you? Cockroach Alley, the people there, what has he done for you? What has he done for you? Maloney Street, what has he done for you? I want to know. Old Fort, what has he done for you? Cemetery Hill, what has he done for you? I want to know. Melville Street, Halifax Street, tell me. Granitang Road, tell me, what has he done for you? I've been in town long enough to know and to ask the question. Tanton Terrace, what has he done for you? Tyrrell Street, what has he done for you? And all those streets he's not even named, much less sidewalks. Look at the condition of the drains. The stench, the scent, some days. Look. Watch. Four Roads, what has he done for you? Williamson Road, what has he done for you? I want to know. There's a street called some Dupont something street. I think that little piece between the tunnel and back to Coates, that little area there, or that little piece between by Hubbard's, just around there, and back by Coates area. There's a name for that. Some deep Dupont juice, some Dupont something street, right? I'm asking the question. What has the guy done? You say popular, you say irrelevant. What contribution has he made for you? I want to know. I would love to know. And all those who talk, what, you go in the court? You go in the court and what, represent some of those guys, or he's in court and those guys, they don't have money and they come in the court and they don't have representation and he represent them. And he plead for them, he beg for them. But after he beg for them, they go back in the court again though. And they're charged with all other things. That is what you love him for? I'm asking the question. Or if you go, you want to beg him, like the woman in the terminal. You want to beg him and he help you. You take a little money and he help you. That, you know, it's amazing, right? It's amazing. It's amazing. But we must ask the question. It's just like Emlin P, the old NNP TV. What has Emlin P done for the people of Telescope? Or for the people of a constituency? Hope. Huh? Only recently, the Honorable Andy Williams, he had to go and complete the basketball court in is it Mackey or Yeah, Mackey, not Subies, right? I think Subies is more on a Lennox Andrew side. I think so. Or maybe a part of that is also her constituency. What has she done in her constituency that you can point to? What? I would love to know. So you talk about Emlin P, she's the leader of this and the leader of that, and because they were involved in the politics. They were involved in the politics. Deacon Mitchell was never involved in politics. They were involved in the politics for years. What has she done for the people of her constituency? Is it St. Andrew Southeast? St. Andrew, either Southeast or whatever. What has she done in that constituency? I want to know. For you, has she done anything to better your living standard and condition? Boy, I really would love to know. Because if you're putting up yourself, you want position, you want to be a leader, you want to be this. Okay. Put on the table, what have you done to help your people in the constituency? What? Folks, we are past the time. I want to thank you very much for being a part of the program tonight. I want to wish you all the best. Take good care. I'll be back with you tomorrow, God's willing, starting from 8 in the a.m., where we're going to continue the journey again, because it is important to do so. All right? Yes, so it's DuPont. Let me see here. The Pontu Street. Yes. Yes, the Pontu Street. So that street. Yeah. Just that little, I know where Cockroach Alley is. All right? That's coming on Marketing Lane side. Louis used to live somewhere there. Cap Bank, well, it was an exit there, that top road there, and then you go back to that daycare center on that street, right? That alleyway. But DuPontu Street is that little piece of street there that I talked about. That's just between, you have Hubbard's, that little street there. That little street, it's named. I think it connects with the Carenage. And then you have that little piece between the Sendell Tunnel and just at the end of, well, back on Young Street. That there, I called the name earlier, but just that little piece of street there, coming back to the museum area there. All right. Yes. So thank you, Pele. Thank you. In fact, we had a conversation about that, Pele. Pele Dabo and Pele and Doug. Yeah. And Doug got it correct. We looked at the map and everything of that sort. Because, it is quite difficult to get all these streets because it's not named. It's not, it's very difficult. Right? Right. So somebody say, no, that's Moncton Street by Coates area. But right there, I think it's, if you look at the map, I don't know if it's the little piece from Sendell Tunnel to just by Coates area, or the little piece between, between the Carenage and back to Coates, Hubbard's area there. But right there, that little piece of street, I think it's one of the shortest streets in St. George's, right? DuPontu Street. We had a serious argument about that. Just that little piece there. And when we looked at the map, it says it all. All right. So so folks, I want to wish you all the best. Have a wonderful night. All right, right. So isn't right. So that's Ponto Street. All right, the street by Hubbard's isn't right. So so that little street there. So the street by Hubbard's is what I say, Moncton, that little street there, but a little piece in front, I think it's the shortest street in St. George's. Anyways, you could get that on Siri. That's just easy, like 1, 2, 3. All right. So folks, have a good night. Take good care. Bye for now. Have a wonderful